again at Miss Cindy's Kitchen. I hope that you have liked and subscribed and are starting to follow us and leave us feedback. We really appreciate it. And this is basically just another Journey to Dinner while I'm wearing my Journey into Imagination shirt.
It's kind of like what that's like, you know?
Saturday is kind of our catch-up day where we have to get caught up on laundry. So, clean t-shirt. You know, that sometimes governs what I wear for the day.
Yeah.
So anyway, we were given a couple of things that we wanted to show you how you can put together a meal out of just random ingredients. And a lot of people are really struggling with food nowadays, so you oftentimes have to get food from other sources because the economy is kind of crazy right now. So a friend of ours gave us some hot Italian sausage.
Well, it's good.
And she gave us 4 bundles like this.
Ooh.
So we were really blessed. So I'm going to cook this, and since this is spicy sausage, I'm going to pair it with some more mildly flavored pasta.
Yeah, that stuff's actually really good. We had some of that.
It is very good. So we're going to be making a simple dinner tonight, which is why we're calling this a Journey to Dinner. And we have good news. We finally got our van back.
Yay.
We've been relying on friends and public transit to live our life over the past 3+ weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, we're going to be utilizing the groceries we have on hand or can obtain inexpensively or that are given to us because we have big car repair bills to pay. So anyway, you know, even if the food that you are seeing us prepare isn't to your liking as far as the health quality, sometimes you have to utilize what you're given and make meals that are economical for your family because life can be challenging sometimes. So, I have already got the water boiling for the pasta, and whenever you boil water for pasta or potatoes, you need to make sure you give it a healthy dose of salt.
Okay.
It should be the salinity of seawater. So I would say for a big pot of water, maybe a tablespoon.
So this is a very big pot right here.
Yeah. And I just use cheap table salt. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. This is less than $1 per carton at most major grocery stores. And behind our pasta pot, I have a pot of water boiling to make tea.
Oh.
Because our 2 main beverages in this house are iced tea, plain. I don't doctor it up with sugar or anything. Plain iced tea is just fine with most of us. Plus it's caffeinated, which is awesome. And we often drink ice water. So for those of you, you know, who are health conscious, we're drinking water with most of our meals. Or iced tea unsweet. So, anyway, this is just Cantella's hot Italian sausage.
Oh, it's good.
And it can be a little spicy, but it's not unbearably spicy. So I'm just going to cook both of them up. And that way we'll have enough left over for lunch after church tomorrow. Because our Mother's Day dinner, which the father in the family is going to make, is his meatloaf. So maybe we can do an episode on that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that'll be another Journey to Dinner.
Yeah.
Dad style. So
just a point of reference is these is hot links, right? Hot Italian sausage.
Hot sausage.
You could use like chorizo and other kind of sausage meats that are spicy.
Any sausage, any meat, whatever. You could even use ground meat, ground turkey, whatever meat you have on hand. As long as you're flexible, basically you have an idea and you find ingredients to go with that idea, or you have the ingredients and think of a way to use those ingredients and incorporate them into a meal. Because we do our best to eat healthy. However, we do make good use of whatever groceries come our way.
Right.
If people are going to give us, you know, meat and pasta, we're going to make a meal out of it because it's a blessing, you know. we were almost out of meat, and we were blessed with meat today. So we'll make dinner out of it.
Yep.
So, this is kind of stuck. All right, I'm gonna open up the package. Kitchen scissors.
Do your thing.
Do your thing, yes. All right, so. All right, get in there. You can talk to your food, you can talk to yourself, just don't start arguing with either one. Then people will look at you funny. So, all right, so that's it for that. So now that I've got meat all over these scissors, I'm gonna put them in the sink. It'll go in the dishwasher next round. So, I'm gonna find something else to open up the pasta, because the water will boil faster. So one tip, when you're setting water on to boil, put a lid on it. It captures the heat and gives more of an induction style heating because it captures the available heat.
So it'll make it heat faster.
Yeah.
I know that sounds redundant.
Yeah. So, yeah, you brushed against something, it fell off the fridge.
I didn't hear it.
That's okay. So, we're just going to use our meat masher. Our other one is in the dishwasher. I often have multiples of kitchen equipment simply because I cook and bake a lot. And I go through a lot of stuff. And tonight, I'm going to be making a quadruple, which means 4 times a recipe for some chocolate cookies.
Oh, wow.
Because our dear friends who have been giving us food and helping us with rides, they love the chocolate cookies that I made. So I've been making them for our church coffee shop and sharing them with Louise's family. So, and our pot of water for the tea is ready. So I have a 4-burner stove, and oftentimes 3 out of 4 are going at the same time.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. So, all right. And I use 4 tea bags. These are family-sized tea bags. So, let's see here. Where is my pot holder? Covered in flour. Put the tea bags in. Turn the burner off. And put the lid back on. So that way nothing else climbs in the pot with the tea. Especially when you're making a lot of food. You don't want the other food that you're making to go into your tea. So I make a gallon of iced tea at a time, and that lasts us about a day. Because we drink a lot of iced tea. And it's not just for summertime. Alright, so we're going to put you on pause while we let the meat brown, and we'll bring you back in a moment. Alright, we're back. The sausage has browned. And we're going to use our trick to get the grease out of the sausage pan. And while you all were waiting for us, we added some garlic. And we call it jar garlic. And our signature, the cabinet's open.
Yep.
Because I got out the garlic salt to put in the meat. And I also had some onion, some chopped onion left from the other day. So I threw that in there while it was finishing up cooking. So rather than using a colander to drain the meat of all the grease, I'm going to use the paper towel trick. Dahlia, out. She smells meat, she smells food, she wants to come see what's going on. So basically just mop up as much grease as you can. You can get out more paper towels. But I find that this method loses less seasoning when you're cooking flavored meat. Or seasoned meat. Flavored meat sounds weird. Alright. So, I think that's good. And I'm going to go ahead and add the pasta to the water. Fresh pasta cooks in about 3 minutes. See? 3 minutes. We ended up with a whole bunch of this pasta a while back and it was frozen. So
Now, what kind of ravioli is this?
This is just mozzarella ravioli.
Okay.
The Rana brand. I think it's Rana. And basically these will cook really fast. So the water is just below a boiling point. It was taking too long. So do 3 minutes on the timer. And basically they're going to cook and they're going to pretty much stay floating at the top. But you always want to err on undercooking raviolis, because as they sit in the water while you figure out how to drain them and everything, they're going to start falling apart. So basically collect your equipment ahead of time so that way you're not stuck waiting. So I'm going to pull some more grease out of the sausage while I'm waiting for the pasta to cook. So this is a dinner that we can just, you know, pull together with ingredients that we were given. We were given the pasta, we were given the meat, and then the side dishes that I will show you momentarily were also given to us. So for those of you going through challenging financial times, especially in the US, there is so much food waste that grocery stores get rid of stuff. It doesn't sell, they throw it away. And a lot of organizations we know of here in our town are able to divert the food waste to families that can use it. So, you know, it's as hard as it is to have financially tough times, there's always a way to feed your family. If you need help, go to your social services office. There's no shame in asking for help. Everybody's hurting in these crazy economic times. You know, even with 2 or 3 people working per family, it's often not enough to make ends meet. So we seek out whatever help we can get, and then when friends of ours say, oh my gosh, I don't know how I'm going to make it through the week, we are able to help them plug into different resources. But our country, and no matter which country you're watching from, there is so much food waste. You just need to seek out resources to obtain food for your family. Don't go hungry. Ask your kids' schools for resources for food. And again, there's no harm in going to get, you know, food assistance, you know, especially when you have to feed children. So that's just my little PSA for the day. And while we're waiting for our pasta to finish, make sure you like and subscribe and keep sharing my channel. I'm really trying to grow my channel because I love to cook and I want to take you all along on that journey and show you how we as a family survive some pretty challenging financial times.
Yes. I mean, it's kind of amazing that I've noticed. It's like whatever we seem to get in a box, you figure out a way to make a meal out of it.
Yeah.
Because I've heard so many people say, you know, when they get something, it's like, what do I make out of this? What do I do with this? And it's like, you
and
know,
this way we're showing you. And this is a beautiful fruit bowl that was a grocery store discard. The use by date was yesterday. Does that look too bad to eat?
Actually,
no.
No.
It's beautiful and tasty and fresh. And this beautiful salad kit. It could no longer be sold because the date was yesterday. But it's perfectly fine, and these are awesome, and they're healthy. Spinach, strawberries, feta, and a balsamic dressing.
And you're actually going to even add some super
yeah,
to it.
Because there's so much dressing in here. There's 2 pouches.
Right. That
there's plenty of dressing for extra greens. And we have a lot of salad greens that, you know, stores can't sell past the sell-by date, but they're perfectly fine to eat. So for anybody who's hurting financially, needs groceries, they're out there. You just need to go look. Network among your friends, online. There's communities on Facebook that will help you find food. There's no excuse for going to bed hungry. There's food out there for your family.
Right.
So I'm going to drain this pasta.
Alright, so I'm going to come over here.
Yeah, so I can steam up the camera. need to find my other pot holder.
You got it?
Yeah. Alright. For some reason, one pot handle is cooler than the other. I already burned myself once today. Even those of us with a good amount of kitchen know-how still do stupid stuff in the kitchen. I grabbed a hot cookie sheet, forgetting that I didn't have a pot holder on my hand. Not recommended. Alright. So, don't want to spill my water. Alright. So, like I said, I made extra, so we can have food after church tomorrow without having to make more food. So that's another way you can economize. You know, plan ahead, make extra food, and one good way to spice up plain pasta is with butter or olive oil. It adds flavor. So I'm going to toss that with some butter. Whoops. You know,
got a little bit on the side there.
Yep, I had to christen a clean stove. Alright, put that in there. And garlic salt. Don't want to put too much salt in there.
Right.
Because this will add a lot of salt. And one of my favorite seasonings is garlic and herb. A little goes a long way. And these seasonings are pretty reasonable. They're only like $2.50 or $3 depending upon when and where you buy them. But they do go a long way. And Parmesan.
Parmesan.
I'm going to use the big side because I'm going to dump a lot in there. Alright. And should we put some fresh garlic in there?
Why not?
Why not? Chase away the vampires before they show up. A big spoon of garlic. Now we're going to stir this up. Use my little pasta spoon. So, and as you can tell, the pasta's kind of falling apart. So you see the gumminess on the spoon. See? Look at that. Doesn't that look yummy?
Sure does.
Alright. So, we're going to dump this into this. So let me get another tool. This is actually a dough tool, but you know what? It's a nice scoop.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm going to mix it all up. Got some pasta, some sausage, and now we've made a big pot of dinner that will carry over to lunch tomorrow from food that was given to us. Because the food is out there, you just have to find it. You know, it breaks my heart when I see people posting on Facebook, I'm going to bed hungry tonight. There's no excuse. Help is out there. It really is. So, for those of you with school-age children, check with your kids' schools. They will hook you up. Seriously, there's no need to go hungry.
Don't drop that.
I know. Alright. So look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Pasta and raviolis. So,
Well, pasta is ravioli, so vice versa.
sausage and raviolis. That's what I meant to say. Alright. So now our main course is done, and we've got a couple of side dishes. So, we're going to put you on hold for a minute, and we're going to go get a kid to do a taste test.
Let's go get a kid.
Yeah. Alright, and I am now getting the salad ready to eat. I added a handful of these super greens and this balsamic vinaigrette that came with the salad kit. It has got berries, strawberries, blueberries, craisins, and feta, spinach, and some mixed greens. So, there's that. And then we just need a spoon for, actually we can use this for the fruit.
Yeah.
So I'm going to scoop up a plate of pasta for Tyler. and then he can tell me what he thinks of it. Big bunch of sausage. Alright. Gotta get a hold of these darn little things. There we go. And I'll get you some salad. So we have our journey to dinner with food we received. And you want your fruit now or after you eat this?
Is the fruit part of the salad?
No.
This fruit's part of the salad. That fruit's another side dish. So why don't you get him a fork?
I'll get you a fork, Tyler.
So we can see how good it is.
Alright, this is not for you. Go away. Hot.
Hot. How does it taste?
Good.
Good?
Good.
That's good.
All right. Well, now you can see how you can put together a good meal from whatever food you're blessed with. So, anyway, thank you again for joining us, and just make sure you've liked and subscribed, and come back again soon.
Thank you for watching Miss Cindy's Kitchen. To get more recipes like this one, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for notifications when new videos are uploaded. Share it out to your friends, family, neighbors, and leave us a comment to let us know how this recipe worked for you. And don't forget to hit that like button. Again, thank you for watching Miss Cindy's Kitchen.